everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. So, last time, what we did was we caught ourselves a Articuno, and now in this part we're going to be making our way west, and we're going to be heading to away from the Seafoam Islands towards Cinnabar Island, where we've got a dungeon to go through. We've got the abandoned mansion, I think that's what it's called, to go through. We've got to resurrect some dead Pokemon, and we've also got to take on our next gym leader, and that's what we're going to pretty much be doing over the next couple of parts. But for this part, we're going to be making our way towards Cinnabar Island, and I decided to leave this battle in because reasons. I did think we'd seen a Marowak before. My apologies. Probably one of the best ground-type Pokemon in Gen 1, Marowak. I don't think there's too many. It's pretty much your options with Dugtrio and Marowak, pretty much for ground. But yeah, Arcanine will do his thing and kill Gloom. Let's move on. Final Pokemon, what have you got? Oh, Wigglytuff. Maybe this is what I was showing off. Here I'm thinking, well, normal type, what can I use? Use Dugtrio, why not? Basically, Wigglytuff is the evolved form of Jigglypuff. I don't remember there being anything unique about Wigglytuff, really. I mean, I think defensively, yeah, I mean, it's taken that Earthquake like a champ. But yeah, I think defensively it's pretty good, and I also think like its physical attack is pretty decent. But that's I feel like it's similar to Clefable in that respect, in that it's just, it hits pretty hard, it can take a beating, but that's really it. There's nothing really sorry. Oh, heart scale, nice. There's nothing really too unique about Wigglytuff, to be honest. It's just a pretty decent physical battler, and that's really it. I don't think it learns too many TMs either. So yeah, I've never used them. I've never used the Clefable. We've got some other Pokemon trainers to get through here. Yeah, I mean, the water areas are just your grinding areas, I suppose. Because it's just pure trainer battles. My apologies. From, you know, Fuchsia through Seafoam Islands through to Cinnabar. That's pretty much, you just fight. Hi, Dean. You just fight trainers, and that's really it. Starmie. Good water type Pokemon for Gen 1. Like the Gen 1, the original Gen 1 version of Misty's Starmie was always a bit of a brick wall for me. I remember early on, because Starmie learns a good amount of attacks, and it's got a pretty solid defense. And that one, I think, had like a ridiculously powerful move. It had a ridiculously powerful water type move, but it also had like Swift as well, so it could deal out the damage. Kingler, I always like Kingler's design, but I never really used it. Tentacruel is actually a good tank. For Gen 1. My apologies. Yeah, Tentacruel is a pretty good tank, you know, good defense. Can cause quite a lot of damage. He's a pretty good Pokemon, all things considered. But again, another Pokemon which I never really used. If it's water types, I usually stick with Vaporeon or or what's the name of him? Gyarados or Blastoise, really. They're pretty much the ones I usually stick with. I don't know why, I guess it's just... that's the way it is. I didn't really experiment much with Gen 1. But anyway, continuing on, we've still got to head towards Cinnabar. It's a bit of, like, this section I always found boring, because it's just nothing but trainer battle, trainer battle, trainer battle, trainer battle, until you get to Cinnabar, and then you can get to more interesting material. Again. So, let's go into here. Was there something to show off here? Okay. Basically, you can trade this guy. You can give him a regular Grimer, and he'll give you an Alolan Grimer, which is Dark Poison, I think. Let's go buy some shit. Alright. First thing we're going to do is raise the dead. So, sorry about that. We're going to be heading into the Cinnabar lab first. Talk to this prick. Yeah, he brings... they study rare Pokemon here. And I can't remember. Is it this room? No, I just kind of... There's nothing really to be seen here. There is some stuff you can get here, though. There's a couple of TMs I think you can get. That's something, actually, that I've noticed with Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Like this version of the game of Gen 1. Moonstones are a lot more difficult to get your hands on. Not that you really need them. I mean, the only Pokemon that would be worth getting with the Moonstone would be Nidoqueen or Nidoking, but whatever. Yeah, talk to him, you get TM2 Taunt. Basically, it basically forces the opponent to use an attack which deals damage rather than using a status ailment attack. So, can be useful, I suppose, if you don't want, for example, you're fighting a Gengar and you don't want it to use Dream Eater, you can force it to use one of its more attacking moves. It just makes it it's a move, once again, which I never fucking use. But we're going to talk to this asshole, and he's going to help us raise the dead. So, he studied Pokemon fossils. So we have the Dome Fossil and the Old Amber. So we're going to resurrect the Dome Fossil first. This is something which I like too. Is that in the original Gen 1 version, you basically had to give it to him, leave the room, leave the building completely, come back, and then he would give you the Kabuto. Here it's just, let me do my thing, and here's your new Pokemon. It's a Rock-Water type. Kabuto and Kabutops is not something I use particularly, a lot, because it's water and rock, which means we. I think that means it has 2 4x weaknesses, because it's rock type, so 4x weak to water. Water type, 4x weak to electricity. Or it might counteract those, I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, not really that useful as a Pokemon. Aerodactyl is, though. I'll defend Aerodactyl, rock flying. Learn some pretty good attacks, pretty good defensively. So Aerodactyl's worth getting. I think that, even though I always get Kabuto, but I think technically Omanyte is who comes from the, I can't remember what the other fossil is. Oh, I think it's the Spiral fossil. Is a water rock type. Or is it just a water type? It might be just a water type, I can't remember. But Omanyte, I think, is the better Pokemon. Because it learns some pretty good attacks. But neither of them are really, I find, all that useful. I've never really used them. But show it off, I guess. But now we're heading into the Pokemon Mansion. And in this version of the game, it does look a lot more... I like the look of it here. It's a lot more... you can really tell that it's a lot more kind of distressed. And there's a lot of... you tell that it's been abandoned for a long time, which I kind of like. There's a lot of items to get in here and a lot of Pokemon to catch. There's a lot of You'll find yourselves a lot of normal types, and you'll find yourselves a lot of... This is where you'll find the vast majority of your poison types. So if you want to get a Grimer or a Muck, those kinds of things, then you can get those here. Along with stuff like Rattatas and Raticates. You can get Magmar in here as well. I think it's the only place you can get Magmar. So, yeah, there he is. Butt-faced duck. He's not really... He's not bad. They're a better fire types. There's a Grimer. So basically we're just going to be hitting a bunch of switches to open up areas. And what we're going to be trying to find ourselves is... You need to come in here to find the key to open up the door to Cinnabar Island, to Cinnabar Island's gym, so you can fight the 7th gym leader. But here's Arnie. And he's got a Rapidash. Dash, dash, dash. Don't you want to hear about it? I don't. But we're going to blast him away. I'm pretty much showing this off just because... I think I'm showing it off just because this is a new type of trainer. It's a burglar. Not particularly... They have a mix of Pokemon, I guess, to kind of... Like, the reason why they have that, I think, is just because to show off that they just nick a bunch of Pokemon. And I like that, and the little tears in his eyes and stuff. It's kind of cool. Max Ether, that's useful. Let's get out of here. Fuck, ran into a Raticate. I'm going to get ourselves a Grimer here just because I'm going to be getting an Alolan Grimer later. Not going to be used in the team, I just thought I'd get one just for shits and giggles. I also like in this that's kind of like dust particles flying through the air. It looks kind of nice. Fuck you, Muck. See you later, kid. So yeah, pretty much we're just... another escape rope, nice. What we're pretty much doing is you're pretty much just going through the whole area and trying to find your way up. So we're going to hit the secret switch. And that opens up the top area here, I think. Yep. And we've got ourselves a trainer, a coach trainer battle. So let's face off against her. What's her name? Let's find out. Coach trainer Rita. Okay. She's got a Graveler. But luckily, Pikachu has got Splishy Splash, which is a water type move, so we can at least... It probably won't kill him. Oh, it will. I thought it wouldn't just because of the fact that, you know, Pikachu being electric type, not really used to using water type moves. But there we go. And now she's got Dug Trio, so let's switch our Pokemon out. Who am I going to use? Let's use Gyarados. Why not? Who's now got the two most powerful water type moves in the game. We've got Surf and Hydro Pump. So, yeah, Gyarados has pretty much got all the moves we would want it to have at this point. He's also got a Dragon type move as well. Outrage. So that'll be useful for Lance of the Elite Four. And he's dead. Fuck you, Dug Trio. My Dug Trio's better. Mine's ground steel, so fuck you. Poliwrath. So let's get our Pikachu back out. Come on, buddy. Hit him with a Thunderbolt and let's just end this. Out comes Poliwrath. Water fighting, I think. Like they did. I don't mind his design. Once again, it's just another Pokemon which I don't really use. I kind of stuck to a very shallow pool of Pokemon in Gen 1. And hurt himself with Recoil. Take a Thunderbolt and think about what you've done. And done. Bye, Poliwrath. Bye, Rita. Hope you have some fun. Kadabra's now at level 50. That's nice. And there we go. We're done for this part. Join me next time for the next part of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. And in the next part, we're going to be getting ourselves the key to the 7th to the Cinnabar Island gym, and we're going to be taking on our next gym leader. We're going to be taking on Blaine. So join me next time for the next part of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Fuck, my brain. Anyway, terrible. Anyway, see you next time.